Hey Doug, I know you guys have been working a lot on changing the defensive schemes and everything else, but you got outscored 60-30 behind the arc. How much of that is effort? How much is it just trying to learn each other and all that stuff?
Well, usually when you play against a team that doesn't make three pointers, they make three pointers. So they made shots tonight. Watched them the other night; they didn't make shots. So that's no excuse. We got to make sure that we arrive on the catch. I thought, you know, those are the building things. This was, in essence, a practice. So we have to go now, watch film, see, correct. You got to be accountable for what's on the film and what we're seeing and what we're doing. And all those guys want to be that. So that's not a problem at all. The problem is, it just doesn't feel good. Obviously, when you lose, I'm a poor sport, as you guys, I'm sure, well know, but we'll keep working at it.
Max talked a little bit about maybe having already some pre-built chemistry with those guys there in the fourth quarter with summer league action. What did you think of the energy that they brought and kind of setting the tone there in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I expect that from them. Yeah, a little bit of that probably. There's a randomness with the summer league. They understand the next actions and all those different things, and they played Kings basketball identity wise. That's what you saw, and that's what we expect.
What do you think of a lot of talk about picking up 94 feet coming into this? What do you think of the job they did, and how much do you expect that to have a learning curve as you guys implement that?
Who? Whole team, starters, reserves?
Mainly starters in that first.
They were in the first half 30%, so that's unacceptable, and we talked about it. 85 is the number, so that means out of all the opportunities that you get, when someone turns around with the basketball, they know what you ate for breakfast.
Doug, can you, off the top of your head, name any specific instances where you saw that identity that you and Scott have talked so much about play out on the court tonight?
The starters, when they started to get back in the game right before the half ended, and then they went on a 9-0 run to end the half. Before that, there it was. And then that carried into the third quarter. So that was not it. But all of a sudden, those bench guys came in, and there it was again, identity. So, out of that whole game, you probably got King's identity maybe 2 quarters, quarter and a half. I'll say a quarter and a half. So the consistency of what we expect needs to be able to be at a higher level for a longer period of time.
Coach Christie, it looked like there was some effort on those closeout. From your perspective, how did you see that?
I think more than anything, like you have to keep. It's a lot easier when you keep the ball in front of you. When guys break you down, it causes help, which causes rotations. And if guys are making on time and on target passes, they see one bucket go in, and all of a sudden they gain confidence. Ever since that I've come back here, it's kind of been a story, but we're going to stop that story. That's not what we do. It's not what we're about. We have to find a way to contain the ball. Therefore, now my help doesn't need to be in the middle of the lane. Therefore, the corner three isn't open. Therefore, when I close to the corner three, I'm swinging to the high quad, and that guy's open. But if I keep the ball in front of me, now I can work my way out in the paint. I'm arriving on the catch, and we live to fight another day.
Doug, just kind of, you talked about a lot of what you liked, didn't like. If there was one thing you liked, one thing you didn't like, maybe what bothers you the most or whatever, what do you remember from this contest here?
It's a good question. I mean, like the low hanging fruit or the guys that went in, but I've talked to them about there's 2 games every night. There's the game and there's the fight. So we got 164 games. Okay, every night we gonna win one of them. If we win them both, we doing something. Tonight we lost them both. And I said, let that be the last time that we always gonna win the fight. And unfortunately, and most people go, well, the last team came in. No, because we do it together. It's all of us. They came back and threw some punches, but it is a group effort from one to the end of the bench, and all the coaches and everybody on the staff, and it's everybody. So unfortunately, we lost both of the games tonight. Unacceptable, and that will be hopefully the last time that happens. That was my conversation with them.
Doug, when you mentioned the 30%, the 85%, you're talking about the number or percentage of possessions where you actually pick up.
Yeah. In the first half, they were at 30. The number that we won is 85%. So it's not perfect, but most times we are there, we're picking up, they're feeling us. They can't just straight line drive. They can't advance the ball up the floor. They're feeling us, and 30% is just it's not enough.
There was I thought at least one really good example in the first quarter where it disrupted and you guys came up with a steal. There was also a time or two where it looked like maybe guys were out of position and then gave up an open three. Can that be a result of that, and is that an adjustment that has to be made?
Well, I think that's twofold, Jay. One is, you're out of position, but also there's a level of, the three pillars on defense is we make them feel us, we communicate, and we compete. Okay, so competing is extra effort, is multiple efforts on the floor, but communication is a huge one. And I think if I go back and look at the film, I think some of that is communication. Is like, who do you have? Because in transition, I don't have my man, I have a man. So we have to make sure that who has the ball, this guy is the one who has the ball. That's what it looked like. I got the ball. Now everybody else is building walls and big and making sure there's no straight line drives. And the guy who have the ball, that might not be his man. We're in transition. Now, when we get to the free throw line, when we make a bucket, now we can get our defense set. When we get our defense set, well, now I got my man, and we can play from there.
With Neek, you had him start the second half in Zach's spot. I was curious what you saw from him with the starters and what you liked maybe particularly about his decision-making and playmaking in the fourth quarter as a passer.
Yeah, Neek is extremely talented, just incredible upside. I think he got better as he got a little bit more comfortable out there on the floor, which, being a young player is just kind of how it goes. He's going to have ups and downs and different things, but he does so many different things. Like he got in there and got a rebound. He got assists. He can run a pick and roll. He can shoot an open shot. He can create his own shot. He defends at a high level. He's still a little jumpy on the defensive end, so that gets him in trouble. But when you affect the game in that many different ways, you find your way onto the floor. So extremely happy for him to get out there and start to figure it out, because it's going to be, there's a process that you got to go through. It's just part of what it is. And for him, it started tonight. So, yeah.
Doug, Keegan's been challenged to be more aggressive. It seems like he took that challenge to heart in the first half with the blocks and attacking the basket. What do you make of just that first impression from him?
Yeah, I think Keegan is, first of all, shoots an incredible ball. So 40% shooter. He's a knockdown shooter. Starting to, the reads of all the different things and the places that we put him, that's going to be a process. But from the standpoint of like grabbing rebounds and bringing it, he looked a little bit more comfortable doing that. Like defensively, some of the help defense and the block shots and different things, I was just like, wow. I mean, that's what we expect from Keegan Murray, and he does it at a high clip. So 4 3-pointers, obviously he only played 24 minutes, but I've told you guys I'd like to get that number close to 10. I want him hunting shots because he is that type of shooter. And then now he has the ability to pump fake and put it on the floor and get on the rim, and would like to see him at the free throw line. You got there 3 times. Okay. I'd like to double that. I'd like to get him there 6 times, but all in all, like, this is a building process. I told you, don't read anything into anything right now. This is all of us going out there and working hard and trying to figure it out. Appreciate y'all.